Hello, loves, and welcome back to the Revelations of a Ranting. Let's have a chat, okay? Let's have a chat about life. Let me pop this in my mouth right quick. I probably shouldn't, but I need a stimulant. Got me a little crybaby. Um, so, what's your favorite candy? Got me a crybaby. I shouldn't even be having candy, but anyway. Oh, that's kind of random. I'm gonna be on here chewing gum. I'm sorry, but I needed this. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's have a chat. Because I'm sensing a change in the atmosphere. Besides what's obvious, my spidey senses are going on. I don't know. I can't say it's for the world, even though, of course, it's for the world. But more so for me. Let me start off by saying that so the Bride of I Am platform is changing again. So the Truth Seekers Bible study class, or Bible study group, it's not a class, it's a group. We have changed the schedule to once a month, the first Sunday of every month instead of every Sunday. Which I guess was going to happen eventually anyway. I'm not sure, but as I told you guys, I started this in 2020, and in 2020, obviously, everybody was home. We were able to meet every Sunday. And so now things are becoming busy for all of us, if they haven't already been busy. And so there was a little bit of a serious moment on my part with them. And so we just decided to have the group meet once the first Sunday of every month, which that'll be interesting to see how the dynamic changes, the energy changes. I don't know. But yeah, that's changing. So I have to now change all of that in the description below on every single video. I've been changing, Lord, I've been changing that information so much. I'm happy that I don't have that many videos up, because honestly, after a while, I'm not gonna be changing nothing. I'm not changing nothing. Especially because the link, I do provide the link where you can keep up on the up and up, especially if you go on, well, I don't really be on Instagram like that. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I should be better about it. I should, but I don't. I'm terrible, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna get better. Listen, so this platform, the Revelations of a Ranting Sheep, name is very dear to me. It makes so much sense for who I am, the type of character that I am, the type of personality that I have. And coming into it, it's like I really want it to be, I still want it to be a platform where I talk about life experiences and how they were sucky and how they transformed, and how I see things from being on the other side and what I've learned from them. And I still think it's going to be that. But I also didn't foresee myself doing this by myself. I foresaw me doing this with a partner, because even though I could sit here and talk all day, honey, all day, all day, it's more ranting and less revelations. You know what I'm saying? So I really need someone to kind of keep me on point, you know? I really need somebody to keep me on point. And I'm not saying that I'm stopping. I'm just kind of chit chatting. This is just a chat. We're just chatting. Um, and I'll say this because I had to take 2 days off of work, which I'm so thankful that my entire life I've been able to have jobs, professions, whatever, where I am able to take off when I feel like I need to take off, um, in a fair way, right? I don't cancel appointments that I already have. Even when I was in catering, I never said that I had to not work a day that I already said that I could work, um, except for when my grandfather died, but that's different, right? Um, so I'm so thankful that I've been able to have that type of life. And so, anyways, I took 2 days off to kind of think, because my emotions were boiling over. They were going on a high, and I didn't know why. And so I just needed to really breathe and come back to myself and kind of talk it out and realize, kind of recognize what it is that's going on. And one of my friends mentioned to me, specifically dealing with the Bible study, that I need to bring someone in to be a part of it, to um, co-host, if you will, with me. And even when I'm not able to, or when I feel like I need to take a break, which I never really feel like I need to take a break. I love Bible study. Um, and I think I like it even more than I did when we first started. But that's also just my relationship that I'm still curating with the Father. And when she told me that, like, I already knew this. Like, I already knew that I needed to bring somebody along. Um, and I tried. I tried, but the person that I wanted, she wasn't really. She had reservations, so that was a dub. But it just speaks to how intentional I've been about everything, as Kahawi and I spoke about 2 episodes ago, about how we really are trying to live a more intentional life about everything that we're doing. Um, you also have to, or I also have to, bring that together and marry that with what the Lord has in plan for me that I don't know, right? I'm walking in it. I'm taking one step at a time. And I really feel like I've already felt like what, and I think that's where we are, at least in this side of the world. A lot of us who are believers are on the path of wanting to be with someone who is going to be our purpose partner rather than just a husband. Um, so, and I feel that. I feel that on 100. And I was just kind of thinking today, this is gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna tell y'all right now because I'm sensing it. I'm sensing it. I'm gonna try to keep it together though. I was thinking today how when I was a little girl, um, there was a little boy who lived across the street from my great grandmother's house, and he would sometimes come and try to play with me, which my great grandmother was not having it. But sometimes we were able to play or whatever. And I remember this one particular time he couldn't come inside. She wouldn't allow him. But we're kids. We were like 6, 7 years old, and we're talking to each other. And he asks me, "Where would I want to go?" Mind you, we are 6 years old, and he's asking me where would I want to go for a honeymoon. This is going on in Spanish, child. And I remember I don't know if I asked him what that was or maybe I already knew what it was. The thing is that I described like a place or a vibe. And now, like coming to North America, that vibe was Hawaii without me even knowing that it was Hawaii. Now, stay with me. I've always been that little girl who has wanted somebody to be with her, to love on her, to understand her. I've never, they say little girls plan for their wedding, like they play I've never planned for my wedding. None of that. And I used to be, you know, flower girls for weddings. So I know, but I never saw a bride and thought, oh my gosh, I want that. Never, never. Um, I did, however, always yearn for a man, like a man. I never called it a purpose partner, but the idea that I had wasn't just a husband. A husband is just that, somebody who has the title of husband, and that's it. A husband, I guess, takes care of the bills. Y'all have kids together, and y'all sleep in the same bed, and that's a husband. I don't want a husband. I want a purpose partner. Okay? I want a purpose partner. I want my guy to, in this very moment, um, have something that he's doing that is similar, parallel, on the same, has the same essence of what I'm doing. He could be way more advanced than me or a little behind me. The fact is that we have the same idea, so that when we come together, pew, 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 pew. Firework. Listen, y'all like my melanin? What do you call this thing again? Child. I can't remember what it's called. Some people call it a sun hat though, like something like that's what we call a sun hat. Isn't it cute? From Natural 85. Wait, I could have sworn it was 86. Child. Anyway, I love this thing. I want to show y'all my other hat too. Next time I'll put it on in the other video maybe. Yeah, maybe another video. I love it. Anyways, so I want for us when we come together that our lives just mesh perfectly because what he's been doing and what I've been doing just they work. It doesn't have to be the same thing, right? Like like a piano player and a dancer. You know what I mean? I hope y'all getting the picture. And so even though I've never said I wanted a husband, I always said I wanted someone. Um now a, a lot of times when I was younger, I always felt like maybe I meant husband. And so I was looking for her. I'm so sorry. In the back. I always you try to digest your life. At least I do. I try to digest my life and kind of figure out um old feelings, old thoughts, old desires. But then when you get older, more mature, I want to say, you start to recognize, oh, that's the feeling. That's what I want, actually. That's what that little girl was trying to describe. And the reason it got a little bit funky is because that very innocent, pure feeling of wanting partnership, at some point when I became a teenager, um, marriage became an exit. My relationship with my mom became, and and I felt like the only way out was to get married. And then, as I've mentioned before, I was engaged in my 20s, and it was like, oh man, finally, I'm getting out. But you see, the way the Father wired me, I am, I'm very good at so many words. The way I've been wired is very specific. And I don't even want to say that because it almost sounds like I'm saying that I'm more special than anyone else, which I am not. But I am different, right? I'm very different. I feel in comparison to majority of people with how I feel about certain things, with how my perspective, my POV. My POV is very different. If y'all only knew the technical difficulties that was going on right now. Oh my gosh, where was I? So I was saying the way that I'm wired to think of things, I feel is very unique. But I'm sure there's somebody out there who is my doppelganger. I don't know when it comes to thoughts. So again, even further before that, I was talking about marriage becoming an exit and no longer a partnership. Um, so it became an exit, and then I told you guys that story a little bit. Then it was like not a thing anymore. And after that, I think I've mentioned that I haven't really been in a serious relationship since. there's a lot of things that happened um, since my engagement and now, um, which I think I have settled that next season is going to be all about your girl's relationship. Those who I called boyfriend, those who were situationships, but they thought they were boyfriends, those who were situationships who I wanted to be a boyfriend, but they were. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. And so um, because of everything that happened and losing my mom in 2020, when you no longer have someone who you've spent your entire life with, whether for me, that was my mom, whether for you, that was a sibling, um, I don't know, even a dog. Like I could imagine because I've had a client once kind of be disheveled because she lost her pet who she's had for a very long time, and that pet meant so much to her. So whenever you lose a person or a thing that lived a good chunk of your life with you, and you're no longer sharing energies with them, um, and you're by yourself. So you go from constantly sharing energies, constantly bouncing off energies to now it just being you. Things change. Now, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in my videos, but I've said to my friends that I've always been the person who took care of anything that needed to be taken care of around the house so long as I was able to. And a lot of times I was able to. I made sure that I was able to. Because my mom was a very feminine woman. She just wasn't going to do it, even though she was more than capable. I'm sure she was more than capable because she was definitely capable when she was younger. But now all of a sudden she's like, I don't want to do it, you know? And now that I don't have that feminine energy around me, I feel like now I'm able to be in my own feminine energy instead of exuding so much masculine energy. And I find myself not wanting to do anything. I don't want to build nothing. I don't want to put nothing together. My little, um, do I call it a greenhouse? It's not a greenhouse. It's, it's like a planter sunlight. It's like a sunlight thing for my succulents. I would have loved to put that together any other day. But all of a sudden, I'm here by myself and I am struggling, okay? I am struggling. And even though I was struggle in the past, I still like had that energy of like, bring on the challenge. I'm here for it. But now I am like, this struggle is for the birds. I do not want to do this. I wish man was here to do this for me. And so with that being said, I am wondering to myself because the amount of time that I spent thinking about a partner versus the amount of time that I spent thinking about an escape partnership, that middle one was a lot longer than just my childhood little thing that I had going. Um, and so I'm constantly like in a place of like, do I even really want to get married? Um, because I'm not escaping anything anymore. So what does it really mean? Like, what does it really mean to me now? And I have to be very um, serious. I have to be very thoughtful with this. I have to take my time and really be sure, because marriage is not something to play with. Like marriage, having that person there every day, okay, dealing with them on the highs, on the lows, on the mediocre, like that is a lot. That is what I dealt with when I had my mom. And I know people who kind of maybe, I mean, I hope that you guys are able to see that it's the same thing. The only difference is that your husband, the intimate relationship that you will have with your husband, your partner, it's a little bit different than the intimacy that you have with a parent, with a sibling, with a child. The intimacy is different. And that's the only difference. Everything is the same. Everything is the same. And I literally, that's probably the best explanation that I've ever had for what happened when I experienced my mom taking her last breath. It was like that light bulb went off in my head of like, this is what it is to be in relationship with someone for a lifetime. You know, it's it's the highs, it's the lows, it's the I don't like you, it's the I I I can't stand not being around you, is the leave me alone, is the calm I feel lonely, it's just the emotions, it's the swing, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and you appreciate, at least I have. When my mom passed, I remember thinking to myself, I am so happy that I was able to be true to my feelings and not do things just to please her. Um, because that wouldn't have been a true reflection of how I felt, a true reflection of my intentions or what I want. It wouldn't be true to me. The fact that I was able to work myself to be authentically me with her was what made our journey even better, because I it was true. It was true and true all the way through, right? And so it made it beautiful for me. It really made it beautiful for me. I appreciated it, and I'm so thankful for the Lord, because I know that He was the one who helped me walk through life with her. Um, and maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll talk about, because I don't think I've really spent time talking about my relationship with my mom. Like I've probably dropped one or two things here and there, but I've never really given you like the meat and potatoes, as Kahalia would say, of that story. And I feel like maybe I didn't, because I was still feeling away, and I will always feel away. That was my mom. I spent um, 31 over 31 years of my life with her, and so I'm always going to be emotional. But I think that a good chunk of that emotion was expressed in the earlier part of March. So I think I'm good to actually have this conversation. Okay, so look out for that next video. Pero yes, I was just so appreciative of the journey, and you won't really understand it. I can't really explain it. It's really something that unless you've been through it, you won't really understand what I'm saying. And not just been through it, but I'm talking about been through it in that authentic way, in a way where you wasn't doing things just to please the person, whether it's a spouse, a parent, a child, a sibling, whatever. Um, you really authentically were yourself. And so now you're in a position where you're holding your loved one's hand and um, bringing them comfort as they breathe their last. I'm telling you, I feel like I can't believe, like, it has to be that that happens to everyone, where you get that light bulb moment of like, this is what life is. This is what life is. Life is a journey. Life is a story of relationships with people that you spend a short amount of time, a large amount of time, and some you'll be able to see till their last breath. And it helped me understand marriage. It helped me understand, like, this is what it's going to, like, this is what marriage is. This is what marriage is. And are you ready for this? Right? Because I had a lot of moments of like, I'm walking away from this relationship with my mom because she's too much. But I was never able to, right? Because a lot of times she wouldn't allow me to. Um, and then sometimes I wouldn't allow myself to. It's like I would just take some time and realize, like, okay, I'm being too much of a hothead. It's not that serious, whatever. But um, it is always going to be a bit or a lot more difficult to get rid of a familiar person, family, emphasis family, somebody who's been there all that time versus somebody who was a stranger and you've grown to love, and you got to know them, and you're going to continue to get to know them, because even in 10 years of marriage, do you even still know all their stories, all the inside joke? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just becomes a little bit difficult because you're dealing with a stranger. And so I'm not scared of that challenge because I know that I'm going to give it my all. Like, I have the capability to give my all and to be there through the hard times, through the rough times, through the angry times, through the bitter times. Like, I have the capability of doing that. I've proven that to myself. However, does that person have that? And so that's the part that concerns me. The part that concerns me is this man gonna stand by me when I'm at my ugliest, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it's energetic, whether it's whatever? Like, is he going to be there? And that's the part that a lot of us don't think about, but also the part that a lot of us are scared about. Um, so, anyways, I'm gonna put a period there because um, my point of all of this is that there's things that I'm doing that I feel the Lord calling me to do these things. Everything that I'm hearing, everything that I'm watching, everything that I'm reading, the conversations that I'm having with strangers, it's like little whispers of confirmation everywhere towards what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And I cannot, I want to have a partner next to me doing that. I do. I do. But it can't just be anybody. It has to be someone who is doing the personal work on themselves to be a better person, to be a better human being, to be a better child of God, somebody who is living life purposefully, intentionally, lovingly. Um, Perfection is not a criteria. Um, Child, no. I'm scared of perfection. I'm not perfect. And if I sense that you're perfect, that's going to be intimidating to me. It really is. It really is. Like, I joke around all the time and say that I would love to be with Jesus. But can you imagine being Jesus's girl? That's a lot. That's a lot. Mm-mm. I joke around, but I ain't serious. That's too much. That's too much. Like, what I'm imagining right now is like going bungee jumping with him and him being like, let's go. And he just jumps out. And I'm just like, Jesus, what are you doing? And he's like, come on, you're going to be all right. It's me. And I'm just like, bruh, I know it's you, but also no. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much, just too much. But I love him. But I love him because he's helping me get to that point. Yeah, and I guess in a way, he will also help his girl get to that point. But still, it's just too much. It's just too much. I'll be holding him back. You know what I mean? I don't want to hold nobody back. I don't, and I don't want to hold my partner back. And I hope, again, I hope that all the work that I'm doing, it's kind of like, because I really believe that we're all connected. We can't see the energy fields, but I really hope that all the work that I'm doing is not just because of how the Holy Spirit is guiding me, but also an energetic thing that's happening between me and this person where they're doing work. And so energetically, because we're supposed to be coming and meeting each other at some point in our lives, Lord, man. I hope it's like, okay, he's doing that work. So energetically, I'm like doing the work over here on my side of town. Uh-oh, I just stepped up my game, and on the other side of town, he could feel that energy and he's stepping up his game. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope so. That's what I'm looking for. I want to walk in purpose with somebody. Okay? Period. If I'm singing, play the piano. If I'm writing, proofread me. Okay? If I'm drawing, be my subject. Something. But you can't be, I don't know, over here playing basketball and I'm over here playing soccer. That's two different things, honey. Yes, it's sports. Sure, we could work out together. Okay. Is a different type of workout, is a different type of practice. That's not purpose. That's a buddy. I don't want a buddy. I've had enough buddies. I'm done. Anyways, I'm being too much. I'm being too much. Um, I'm excited. I told you guys in the last video, I'm excited because, man, this course is like, I'm really taking my time with it. It's so funny because the teacher mentioned how there's 2 people who already finished the course. And technically, she opened in March 27th, or maybe the week before that, whatever that week was, maybe March 17th, maybe. I can't remember. But she mentioned the 2 people finished. And as I'm like listening to her and I'm like, that is so, like, if I wasn't doing anything, that would have been so me. That would have been so me, because that's how, when I sign up for courses, I'm ready to be done. So within a week to 2 weeks, I'm done. It's a lot of information, but I'm done because there's nothing else to do but to do the course. And so when she said that, I was like, that's so funny, because honey, because if I wasn't working, I'm telling you right now, that would have been all the way me. But I'm glad that it's not. And I'm really taking my time, listening, taking a lot of notes. And I don't take a lot of notes. I'm not a note taker. Because I'm not going to go back to it. But this means a lot. And not to say that the other things don't mean a lot, but it's different, you know? It's different. Like, this really aligns with what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I want to do. And even with these videos, even though it hasn't really gone the way I've envisioned, it doesn't mean that that vision is nullified. You know what I mean? Like, I will get to that point. I think right now, however, we are working out the kinks. First of all, becoming more, I'm getting used to, right? I'm getting my feet wet. Like, I hope the videos look different, right? I have my ring light situation. I'm recording on my phone. I mean, I've been had my, what do you call this? My tripod or whatever. I've been had that because I'm constantly taking pictures of myself for whatever reasons. And so, I've been adding things here and there. Like, I have my mic situation, which you can't see because I don't really like it when it shows. Sometimes it has to show, but I don't really like it when it shows. So I like to hide it or whatever. So I'm really, this is experimenting time. I, you know, I hope you guys do, which I never used to do, but I'm seeing the benefits of it. With Transformation Church, they every year they will have a word for the year, right? I believe last year was anchored, and from the time that I became acquainted to them to when I officially crossed over to Embassy City, I was on top of those words. And it always felt like, it's interesting when you attach yourself to another entity. It's interesting how the Lord really covers you, and you are part of that. They're in Tulsa, I'm in Queens, and those words for the year really were working in alignment with my life. And I feel as though last year, when my spirit was kind of leaning off, that's when things kind of became like anchored. Okay, I guess. Like, I could sense that. Um, Even though it was true, because I had lost my mom in 2020, and so now 2021 is obviously a year where you want to be anchored, right? Or else you just float off. I feel like very strongly, I felt like the Lord has now is taking the time to speak to me. And so this year for me is a time of being. Just be. Just be. Don't try to, and I think I may have mentioned this, but listen, y'all gonna hear me repeat myself more than 1,000 times. It's a time to just cruise. I think that's a good word to describe it. Just cruise. Open your eyes, open your ears, exercise silence, and when silence needs to be exercised, and just cruise and see. Stay open, stay flexible. And when you need to jump on something, jump on it. You know what I mean? When you need to fall off, fall off. Just cruise. Just do your thing. Just be. Just be. You know what I mean? Together with that, continue to work on the things that you have been working towards. I've mentioned to you guys already the neuropsychology of self-discipline and how I wrote out my statement of purpose, my sensory goal statement, what it is that I want out of life, and my objectives, and all of these things, right? And little by little, I know it becomes a little bit frustrating because we feel like it's not happening now. It's not happening fast enough. We want it to happen now, but it really and truly, like, I'm appreciating, which I always knew that I was going to appreciate being older. I always knew that I just did not like being a little girl. I just didn't. It just did not work for me. It didn't work with my personality. I hated it. If I could just appear instead of be born, honey, that would have been excellent. But, whatever. Even Jesus was born. So I'm just, the things that I'm learning, and the comparisons, I'm sorry, something is in my eyes. The comparisons that I'm noticing, I'm just like, oh my God. Just the other day I was making a comparison of stuff, and I'm just like, wait a minute, it already said that here. Why did I have to find it? And it's just like, I could just imagine. I don't think he is. I think we be making up stuff of what dad be saying about us. But I legit be like, he probably sick of me, because he was probably like, I said it over here. Okay, why you not getting it? Now I'm over here doing this thing, and it's saying the same thing, and I'm just like, man, look at that. That's crazy. And I'm just over here like excited about it and whatnot. And he's like, that's exactly what I said over here. Like, that's literally what I said. And then when I go back to that thing, I'm just like, man, you did say that, huh? That's wild. I don't know why I missed it. I don't know why it went over my head. But that's what I'm finding is I'm cross-referencing my information, the data that I've been taking throughout many years. And I'm just like, child, what is life? That's what I say when I'm like shocked at what is life? Like, I cannot even, I'm really excited for the future, which is very different, honey, because your girl, low key, I still be like, Lord, why? I just want to be with you, child. I just want to be with you. But, and I do want to be with him, because life sometimes it be high key annoying. But I am excited, because the puzzle is coming together in my mind. puzzle is coming together. Now, I wish I could already finish it, right? But I am learning to take deep breaths. I am learning to slow my roll. I am learning to appreciate, to stop and smell the roses or whatever. I'm learning to submit myself to his will. I'm learning to be more flexible. I'm learning to be more understanding. And it's taking time, right? It's taking a lot of time. And sometimes I might not get it. I might be like, oh, no. But I am an aware person. I know because I digest my days. When I come home is my time to digest. And I am good about thinking about what happened and being like, girl, you did too much. You did too much. Okay. Relax yourself. And kind of just going back, if I have the opportunity, go back to whomever or to whatever and fix or apologize or whatever, and just kind of explain myself and why I'm so frustrated or whatever. So yeah, I'm happy because I listened to so I was reading Tim Ross' book, Upset the World. And I finally finished it. I think I started the book. You know what? I'm glad I can't remember because it's embarrassing how long it took me. But at the same time, it's like I was reading Upset the World. I'm reading The Body Keeps the Score with my accountability group. I'm reading another book that has to do with chakras. Then I'm constantly having to go back to the Human Design book. Then I have 2 other books that I started reading a while back that I had to put away because I'm just like, it's a book that I wanted and I still think holds value, but my spirit, for whatever reason, like I'm really learning to decipher the spirit and not forcing it. So yes, the spirit said, okay, you could buy the book, that's cool, but you're not gonna read it yet. What else can I say? You know what I mean? Like, what else can I say? It has to be that. It has to be that. It has to be that. Did I speak to you guys about Samson? I think I did. But I'm gonna repeat myself. Samson, his mom was told by an angel that she will have a child. She will bear a child, and he will be a man of God, right? And Samson's purpose, if you will, was to defeat the Philistines. And he did. How did he do it? He did it by being, I think the Lord gave him desire because I think it was genuine desire. I don't think it was, he didn't know. And I'm going to tell you in a bit why I feel like he didn't know. The Lord gave him genuine desire or eyes for Philistine women. The only reason that was happening, now this is my interpretation. You're more than welcome to go into the comments and saying how you feel about it. He gave him desires for the Philistine women. His first wife was Philistine. Then here comes Delilah. But even though he deceived her several times, he eventually told her. Now, the reason he eventually told her is the same reason we eventually fall into things and then end up in a situation that seems messed up from our perspective, but you don't know how that just helped whatever. You know what I mean? So when he finally told Delilah the way to weaken him is to cut off his locks, and she cut off his locks while he was sleeping, and the Philistine dudes came in and chained him up and all the things, and he couldn't fight them off. And they gouged his eyes out, and then they brought him to the feast, and they had him posted up to the beams, the pillars. They had him posted up to the pillars. Samson's words were, child, oh man, my phone is charging. Samson's words were, Lord, give me strength again, one last time, so that I may avenge myself for, avenge himself for the fact that they gouged his eyes out. So he wanted the Lord to give him strength one more time so that he could kill the people who gouged his eyes out. Now, he was supposed to kill the Philistines regardless. That's why he was brought, okay, up on this earth. His will was the Lord's will. And even though he thought that he was given strength to kill them because of his eyes, he wasn't so. He was given strength because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be killing these people. This is what the Lord wanted from you. But, the Lord was just like, okay, whatever, you could think what you want to think. So what is my point? My point is, we do things and we're so hard on ourselves, or we don't do things and we're so hard on ourselves when the Spirit is telling you, chill, not right now. It tells you yes in certain things, it tells you yet and no in certain things. What does that feel like? According to me, that feels like a spark. Ooh, I really want to do that thing. I'm going to do that thing. And you go do that thing. And it was easy because you were sparked, the desire was there, you went and did it, you did it. Okay? Now I know this is controversial because there's a lot of things that we have sparks for things that we're not supposed to be doing. Okay? Now, scripture says that he uses all things. And even though he wants you to be clean and pure and sin-free, which is why the Lord died for us, he is going to use that to help somebody. This is something that I've been thinking of this past week. And I'm going to cut it short because I'm pretty sure this video is already like way too long. I'm going to cut it in a few. Some people help others by going to school and learning about a thing, practicing, and then putting it into action. Then you have other people, me, who have to go through that thing. You have to walk through that thing. You have to feel that thing. You have to feel the pain, the aches. You have to cry the tears. You have to experience it in order for you to help. Now, one is not better than another. However, there are some people out there who are perfectly okay with getting help from people who have the degrees and said, I studied and I read and, This is what I do. Some people are comfortable with that. A lot of y'all are comfortable with going to doctors. A lot of y'all. And y'all don't question them, you know? Y'all don't question them at all. But then you have a lot of people like me who like, have you ever felt this? You don't know this? When I have a child, I'm going to make sure that I don't have a male doctor. OB, is it the OB or this GYN? I'm not sure which one it is. I'm going to make sure, matter of fact, I'm going to have a midwife, but whatever. You never know how things go. You have to prepare. I'm a preparer for all things. Okay. I have a plan for A through Z because that's just who I am. I'm going to make sure that I have a woman who has given birth, not just any woman. I need a woman who has given birth, who has gone through the thing. Okay. Because you cannot understand my pain if you haven't been through my pain. I don't reading a book telling you that, oh, when she sounds like this is a good um is a good indication that she's these centimeters apart when and I know that's a thing because I've heard midwives say, oh, your scream is a little bit more high pitch, or there's something in the tone that they know, okay, it's time, right? That usually comes from experience of doing it yourself together with the experience of the years of midwifery that you've done. I also need my doctor to understand my pain. Okay? I just don't. I just don't. I'm not that person. I'm not that person, but kudos to those who can do it. I'm extra ratchet, right? Let me spit out this gum. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just needed the gum. It wasn't even the gum. It was the sourness. I just wanted the sourness. Okay, so um, I say all that to say that the Lord works differently with all of us, right? We learn different, we talk different, we feel different, we're different. And together with those differences, we need people here on earth who are going to be able to connect with us in the ways that we need to be connected with. And so even when it comes to general doctors, they have their place in my life, and it's not one that is a familiar one. It's not a familiar one. I would much rather deal with someone who went to study, but also um, has done and continues to do um, research in the holistic, in the Eastern medicine, as they call it. I can't stand when they do that. Eastern medicine. Um, I much rather someone who. Let me tell y'all something. Side note: don't let nobody waste your time, please. I know it's hard. It's hard to be the mean person, the assertive person. For some of us, that's so hard, and I get it. But do you rather be stepped all over, be taken advantage of? I don't know, all things. Do you rather go through that with someone who clearly does not care about you, about how they're treating you, about whatever? Don't don't settle for nonsense. I think that's good. Yeah, don't settle for nonsense. That is across the board. That is across the board. And I'm gonna leave that there. So I'd much rather have a doctor who is constantly studying on holistic healing, because the majority of the things that we go to the doctor for are not things that they really need to be dealing with. If I have a cold, you don't need to be giving me no stupid man-made medicine telling me to take, I don't know, um, what do they give you for colds? The cold medicine. They tell you to go take some cold medicine or whatever. What's in that cold medicine? Go into your cabinet and read what's in the cold medicine. You know when this became a serious thing for me? I was in Bible class. This is my old church on a Wednesday. Or was it on a Sunday? It doesn't matter. But I remember one of the brothers, we was talking about something. And I remember one of the brothers stating, and that thing stayed with me heavy, child. It stayed with me heavy. Clearly. He said, the body is built to climatize. He didn't say that word. I'm saying that word. So your body was created to get used to things. Okay? That's how you stay alive. It's called survival of the fittest. And if your body doesn't know how to adjust, you will die. And so God created you to adjust. Okay? So he said, taking medicines is detrimental. My words, I'm using detrimental to the body because you're taking this aspirin constantly for headaches, constantly, because you suffer from headaches or you have, I don't know, some sort of pain relief. You constantly taking this thing, and then 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever, you take this thing, and now instead of taking one, you have to take two. And then you go from taking two, you have to take three, and so on and so forth. Why? Because your body has now gotten used to these dosages. And I heard him, and I'm just like, wow. I was like, what? I was like 14 years old, maybe 16, actually. And I'm like, huh, interesting. And I was somebody who, just like everybody else, I have a headache. You pop a pill, you pop an Advil, a Bear, whatever. Bear was my joint, honey. I used to have the Bear in the cabinet for a headache or whatever. And I weaned myself off of those things. I didn't have no alternatives at the time. So what I would do is sleep headaches off. And when I was sick, I only if I felt super, super terrible would I take cold medicines and stuff like that. Which weren't good for me anyways, because I have allergies to the dyes that they put in these things. They don't flare up all the time, but just because they don't flare up on the outside don't mean that it's not damaging my inside. So let's be very clear about that when it comes to allergies. People, because I'm one of those people who is constantly like, oh yeah, sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. It's like, no. If it's sometimes it comes up on the outside, trust and believe it's always happening on the inside. Like there is no way that 1 minute, like that's just counterintuitive, I think. And so eventually I weaned myself completely off. I started doing a lot of cleanses and all of that. The only reason I started doing all those cleanses though is because, like I said before, I have to experience things. I have to go through things to be able to help people. And when my mom was diagnosed with celiac disease, um, even though I didn't consciously say, "Oh, I have to do have to figure this out. I think her energetically, and this is the beauty. And if we could just slow down, because like only in me slowing down have I been able to recognize when my body starts to shift to do things that I wouldn't naturally do in order to put myself through something because someone around me needs to be healed in some way, which is very interesting. I hope I never have someone around me who's going through like, child, but I started doing all of these cleanses and whatnot, and eventually, like, honey, the amount of times that I get sick, I think I got sick the last time, maybe 2021. I think last year I got sick for about 3 days. And that's due to the fact that it was only 3 days is due to me having my essential oils. So I don't like nasty tasting stuff, like any of us, right? I don't like nasty tasting stuff. And even though the essential oils do taste terrible, some of them, it is more palatable for me because there's only one drop, drink some water, boom, you're done. And if I haven't mentioned it before, I'm gonna mention it now. If you can just get your hands on some oregano essential oil, honey, make sure that it is ingestible. Make sure that it is the cleanest form of oregano that you can get. Even if you go to a herbalist and that herbalist is making the oregano oil herself, ask her process. What is he or she using to do this thing, so that you know that you are getting oregano and oregano only, not chemicals that they're using to pull out the oil or whatever the word is. I would say the company that I use, pero yo no sé. I'm going to put it in the description below if I can remember. I don't have a pen around me. Oh my gosh, yes, I am. So guys, I just bought a bag. Oh my gosh, this video is going to be so long. I just bought a bag. This is my new work bag. It's super huge. I paid, it wasn't that much, but also I couldn't put my entire logo. Oh God, you're not gonna be able to hear me. I couldn't put my entire logo, but I decided to just go with I am powerful in red. Isn't it cute? It's huge, is it? It's huge. And the reason it's so big is because I need to put all my work stuff. But the thing is that some clients, depending on who they are or what the situation is, they don't be having like hand soap, toilet paper, hand towels. And so my book bag that I was using is not big enough to hold all of those things. And so I needed a bigger bag to put in toilet paper and all the things that I would need for me, because child, the amount of times that I had to use, because I do have tissue to blow your nose, the amount of times I had to use my tissue for that. Anyways, I need a pen so that I could write down to put in the essential oil link on my thing. So while I look for that, and let me wrap this up because I already know. And I do want to mention that the fact that I be struggling so hard to stick to 1 hour because I think the consensus is we don't want to make long videos because people's attention span is not. And you know what? Do I really want to cap myself because y'all can't sit down and watch a video that's 2, 3, 4 hours long? And I get it. It's like, no, I don't mind watching a video that's 4 hours long, but if you're gonna just be ranting about yourself or about life, then pass. I get it. I do get it. But like I said, the Lord is doing something here. He's unlocking something in me. He is first of all, the fact that I cannot find this pen and there's but um so many areas. I know it's in here. Child, come on, come playing with me. The he I feel like he's unlocking things in me that being able to be on video like this is going to help me. Like even with my teacher, my counseling teacher, she does videos on Instagram all the time. And if you just listen to her, you could tell, like you could just see the experience. You could see that she's comfortable. You could see that she's done this. And so I think the Lord is working, y'all. The Lord is working. For all you know, honestly, for all you know, in next year, maybe 3 years, 4 years from now, I would delete all of this because, in fact, what he was doing is just getting me comfortable in front of a camera, and I'm gonna be sitting on somebody's chair or my own chair, okay, doing my own thing on somebody's stage. And now I've already been practicing. You know how if you watch Pastor Tide, I always call him Pastor Tide. That's who Pastor Tide be like, what he what you do in the dark, like what God is doing with you in the dark. Like, we talk about, not we, because I don't talk about them, but if you listen to like sports people and they talk about Jordan's greatness and Kobe's greatness and how they would constantly be practicing and whatnot when nobody's watching. Even when their teammates are out having a good time, they're in the gym or in the court, shooting, practicing their. That's what your girl is doing. Like I feel like that's what's happening. I honestly do. And maybe it's just one of those situations where it's gonna come when it comes. It could be a lot of things. All I know is that with daddy on your side, child, please. Oh, I just got a hit or something. Child, he working. I'm telling you, he is working. So yeah, I think that's what he's doing. He is definitely putting work in me. Listen, it's midnight. I have to be at a client at 8 o'clock, I think, or 8:30. And then actually somebody hired me for the evening. I mean, well, yeah, the evening. So I'm gonna get going. I'm terrible at outros. I'm terrible at intros. Shoot. People be doing their little thing and they be like, hey, welcome to so and so. Where we blah 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 blah. I just be like, what's up, y'all? I don't even be mentioning that the title is The Revelations of a Ranting Chief. How many times do I do that? I don't do it. I don't do it because y'all can read. Y'all can read. I did say that I was gonna touch on this and I haven't. So before I'm gonna end off with this, I don't mind saying things like putting things in my description box. Maybe I won't say it, but I will put in the description box, whatever. I don't do the whole thumbs up, subscribe, do this, do that, boom, 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 up here, up there, da 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 da. I don't do all of that because one, I don't edit my videos in that way where I'm putting things up on the screen. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Even when I had time for that, I still didn't have time for that. I don't want to do none of that. But also the type of YouTube watcher or subscriber, let me say that. I don't want to say subscriber. The type of YouTube audience that I am is there's been people who I have watched without subscribing for up to a year. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to just subscribe. Like, I get annoyed. Like, this is what I mean by the type of personality character that I am. Because I'm very like persnickety sometimes. Like, I'm just so like, I'm annoying. I could be very annoying to some people. I'm sure of it. Um, I I don't want you to be popping up on my what do you call that? My feed. I don't want you to be popping up on my feed if I'm not really sure about you. Like, I want the people that I know, everything that they're putting out there, I'm just like, yes, watch, yes, watch, yes, watch. You know what I mean? Those are the only people that I want popping up on my feed. And if I'm not sure about you, I'm gonna keep watching you on the side because even though you don't pop up on my specific subscription feed, you will pop up on the home feed. And so I would watch your stuff and see what you're talking about, see what you're about, whatever, fill you out. And for some people, it takes a week. For some people, it takes 2 weeks. For some people, it takes a month. And for some people, it takes a year. In fact, I have somebody in my mind right now that it took me a year before I subscribed to their page. I'm not gonna say their name, but I don't even subscribe no more. And it's not really because of them. It's because so let me finish off my thoughts. That's why I don't do the whole subscribe, like you I feel like if you really if something really hits you, you're gonna like it. If you really like somebody and want to stay on top of what they're doing, you're gonna subscribe. Like, duh, like it's just gonna naturally happen. But if you're not feeling it, you're not gonna do it. So that whole subscribing, and I understand YouTubers do that because YouTube has these restrictions that you can't do this without these amount of followers. You can't do that without that amount of followers, and all the things. And I get it. I'm not really that concerned. I'm not really that concerned. I'm allowing the Lord to do his work. Do you, boo? I want to just be. Okay, this is my year of just being. I want to just be and let the Lord do what he do. If he gonna bring the folks, he's gonna bring the folks. If he's not gonna bring the folks, then he's not gonna bring the folks. But whatever the case is, I'm not going to be doing all of that because that's not who I am. Even when I go into stores and people are like, "Can I help you?" I hate that. Don't ask me if you can help me. No, you cannot help me. Do I look like I have an inquisitive? I don't be walking into stores. And then it'd be so funny because when I do be inquisitive, when I be like looking for somebody, you can't find nobody. I mean, it's like I said, I'm very particular. I'm very particular, honey. This is why I make my friend circle is very small because not everybody could deal with this type of personality. And I get it. Like, I get it. I really do. I get it. So the reason I stopped following this subscriber is not even because of them per se, but this subscriber started talking about things that were similar to things that were happening in my life. And if people, if YouTubers and other platforms, they come and they say, like I tell you guys, okay, this is a realm for believers. I really want to hear your opinions. The only boundary that I put on the opinions is that everybody is respectful and able to have mature discussions. Mature discussions absolutely include things where people are not going to agree, but it's still done in a mature way where I'm not all of a sudden annoyed because you make me look stupid or feel stupid, and now I'm gonna call you names. That's I'm gonna block all of that, right? But if things are happening maturely, leave it. What's the point? And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm telling you guys this is what you could do, right? And so this YouTuber gives off the family, we are family vibe. And then when you're going through a situation that's similar to yours, you expect people to hear your story and say, wow, I really feel that, like, actually I went through this a couple years back, or I'm going through this now. And really having a space, because I feel like we all are yearning for a space, a community. And so people are sharing their experiences, and here comes a follower who's like, oh, this is not about you. They talking about and it's like, oh, it's really insensitive. And I'm just like, this person is not gonna say nothing. And I'm not saying block, like, I'm not gonna tell somebody else what to do, how to run their stuff. But I think that if I'm telling you guys, you can have all the discussions. I don't care what the discussion, how the discussion, like, as long as you stay respectful and mature. And then I see somebody be disrespectful and the opposite of everything that I've been saying, I'm going to come in and say, hey, if you cannot have a mature discussion, remove yourself. Unsubscribe if you're subscribed. Stop watching my videos. Don't come in my comment section, because if I see you in my comment section again, you will be blocked, because that is not the energy that we are condoning here. I think that's something that we need to do. But when you take the route of not saying nothing, you ain't Beyonce. You're not Beyonce. Celebrities on that level could do that because they're not out here like, guys, go subscribe, go do this, go do that. You guys are my family. You're part of my family. Da, da, da. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. And so when I hear things like with Beyonce, where her beehive does things, and people are like, "Oh God, she didn't even make a comment to stop them or nothing like that." And it's like, she don't have to. She don't know these people. She's not. Yes, she is profiting off of them, sure, but I don't know. She's so she's so far beyond that. Even if you guys disappear, she could get money doing something else, and she is getting money doing something else besides singing. So I hope that made sense. Even if it didn't, it doesn't matter. I am who I am. And so, yes, the reason I do not do the whole subscribe, like this, that, and the third is because I don't really care. What I genuinely care about is people hearing me. And obviously, this video was a bunch of just chit chat. I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to get things out of my chest, or off of my chest, out and off. um, I want people to really get something. I want people to grow. I want, when I talk, for light bulbs to go off. I want, I want genuine growth from anybody whose attention I'm able to catch with these videos. Um, if the Lord would allow me. If not, then that's cool too, because He's the master of two birds, one stone, right? He's the master of two birds, one stone. So I know that this is so much more than just pouring in or scattering seeds or whatever. Um, he's doing something else with this. Just like he was able to help me with my stage fright when I joined a student council in high school. Um, this is taking care of, I mean, I wasn't really shy to be behind a camera, but I think it's the awkwardness that someone may have. And I don't think I have an awkwardness, but that's for you guys to judge, I guess. I don't know. But I do still need to learn to focus on the side where the lens is. Or maybe you don't focus directly in the lens, but you focus a little bit to the side where it looks like you're looking in the lens, but you're not really looking in the lens. Like, I'm constantly looking at myself. Like, I'm looking at myself now. You know what I mean? And sometimes that doesn't come across good. Like, you want to be engaging to the people watching. And so, it's those little things that I have to learn, that I will learn with more practice. And because this changes constantly, I'm constantly putting the camera one way and then I put it this way. And so sometimes the camera lens is on that side. And it's just a lot of things. And so this is helping me. This is helping me. I want you guys to really be intentional about your lives. If you're struggling to figure out what you want to do, put that in the description. Put it in the description. And you know what? If you want to, if you feel comfortable, send me a DM on Instagram. I would love, love, love to talk to you. Love, love, love to talk to you. So if you feel comfortable, send me a DM. If you already know what to do or what it is that you want to do, then start putting goals to to get to the bigger picture. Whatever your big goal is, start creating little goals so that you can get yourself to succeed, to attain that big picture. Be intentional, love people, embrace people, respect people. Like, we are all hurting on some level. You know what I mean? We all have something. You don't know what it is that that person next to you is going through. You don't even know what your sibling is going through. You know what I mean? Like, they could tell you one thing, but you don't ever know the real full story of everyone. You just don't. So, guys, be great. Be great. Dad loves you. And I will see you guys next week or in 2 weeks, where I will be speaking a little bit or a lot of bits. This one is gonna be interesting. What comes to my spirit, because like you guys already know, I don't write down anything, um, so it's gonna be interesting what it is that the Holy Spirit allows me to verbalize. And I hope it helps someone. I hope it helps someone because after my mom's passing, I have become very passionate about my friends healing their relationship with their mothers because the worst thing that could happen is you losing whichever parent that you're closest with and not having that authentic relationship with them or authentic conversations with them is gonna hit you hard. It's gonna hit you hard. So love you guys. Love on other people, and I will see you later.